Brian, I reset my trigger. My friend Brian was giving me grief about holding my trigger back. It's the way I was trained, follow through. And he's right. There's no reason for me to still be holding that trigger. I really should be resetting the trigger. Guys, that ought to show you I am the forever student. I am constantly learning. When he said that to me, I went, he's right. He's absolutely right. I didn't even think about that. All right. Someone asked me the other day what my camera setup was. And I said to him, it's in the, I always say the same thing. It's in the description. If you scroll down in the description, you're going to find cameras, HDR AS15, Sony. I've been running these cameras for over a decade. We'll just leave it at that, over a decade. And these cameras are over a decade old. Not these particular ones. When I worked for a manufacturer, all the HDR AS15s that I had belonged to the manufacturer. I purchased all of them on the company card, and when I left the company, all that equipment went to them, and I immediately ran out and bought myself an entire set of these cameras. I have 3 of these. I have one of them Velcroed upside down on my Hearing Pro, and you'll notice that it has a slight downward slope to it, and because of that, it allows you guys to see right down my right arm and allows you guys to clearly see the weapon. If I were to put the camera on the left side, well, I wouldn't be able to because the monitor, the glass of the monitor, I wouldn't be able to see the glass of the monitor. Not to mention, what I found was that by having the camera on the left side, it just all you end up seeing is the very back of the gun. This way, you can at least see along the right side of the gun. Excuse me. So that gives you guys the point of view shot, and then the one here on the pole is, in fact, you can see that I've got 1 bar left on my battery. The one here on the pole is in its monitor, and this is the monitor. And it allows me to frame the shot. And once I've got the shot framed, I close the monitor. Why do I close the monitor? Well, there's a lot of bullet fragmentation that flies around, and I don't want to lose a monitor. And for those of you that are wondering, this right here is nothing but a little piece of a microfiber cloth that I snipped off in a rectangle about that long, and I tuck one side along. In fact, let me just show you real quick. So basically, this is tucked in along the side of this camera. And then I run the cloth loosely around the front, and I close the door around it, and it creates enough of a windbreak that it eats up a lot of the wind noise that comes at these cameras. And I have 2 schools, I have 2 groups of people that make commentary. The first group of people that make commentary are the ones who say, you know, you really ought to, and then they, you know, tell me what camera that I ought to go get. And then the other group of people go, you mean you're not wearing a wire? No, I'm not wearing a wire. All the audio that you guys are hearing is coming off of that camera right there. I can be as far as here, and I'm not yelling at you, I'm just talking. You guys can clearly hear me. These cameras have really top quality audio. Right now they're not in their water jackets. The reason a lot of action camera footage or audio sounds like this is because when they're using them, the camera's inside of a water jacket. And water jackets are plastic cases that cover the diaphragms that run the microphone systems. These cameras are water resistant. When I say water resistant, I mean I've had them in rain, okay? Out of their water jackets, I've had them in rain. In fact, this particular camera has had so much abuse when I run it at classes, and it gets rained on. The back of it actually opens up, and that's where the memory card and the battery is. So these are not waterproof at all. They're not IPX anything. They're just water resistant. So, and guess what? They are amazingly still available. Now, unfortunately, their price tag has started to go like this because they're very difficult to get a hold of anymore. I have 3, and I have finally said to myself, I'm gonna woosah and let it go. And when these cameras finally kick the bucket, I'm gonna replace them with what? I don't know, but I'll figure that out when I get there. Because there are already several generations forward of this camera. I haven't tried the latest generation. The generation before the latest generation did not blow my skirt off, and I returned it. These really do it for me. These have very good highs, very good lows, not only visually but audio. These have very good chips. They're very shock protected. As you guys have seen when you guys watch me shooting, there's not a lot of vibration. I guess it'd be good if I actually turned it on, right? There's not a lot of vibration. And the camera is shock protected to such a degree that it sucks up a lot of abuse without the image doing this. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. I used to have, and I'll close with this. Yeah, I better hurry. I used to have a Sony Carl Zeiss 4K. Beautiful camera. But unfortunately, the sensors were not designed to be around gunfire. It was designed to be a tripod camera for interviews or whatever. And I was like, nope, crap, sorry, done. And I got rid of it. These are 1080p, 60 frames per second, and I can actually double, triple, and quadruple that frame rate for slow-mo while retaining audio. You can't do that very easily with a lot of the cameras out there, even today, and these are 10 years old. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them. As always, I have to hurry because the battery's gonna die. If you guys have any questions, concerns, leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them. As always, I thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Get those guns out and practice. Have a good one.